Ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea why children continue to go missing. And in this case, I like to point the finger at the two individuals that you see on my screen. And it's always the ones that are closest to you between biological mother, in this case, and its mom's boyfriend. This is so sad that this little boy is missing. I have no idea why this little boy is missing, but we're going to give you guys some more details. But let me warn you, most people have already heard about this story. They've already heard it, seen it in the news, but people aren't here to hear the news, right? They already know what the news is. They're just here to hear my opinion about the news because I have some very strong opinions, and I'm going to say some things that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities. So if you can't handle that, I understand. This might not be the video for you. But for everybody else who wants to hear my opinion about this story, I like to talk about these two individuals that you see on my screen right here. These two pussies, these two wonderful, God-fearing parents that you see on my screen right here have done something and been charged with something very heinous, okay? Now, the mother, the biological mother of this beautiful baby boy that you see right here, that's the biological mother. Her name is Danielle Dauphinus. I don't know. The mother of a missing New Hampshire 5-year-old boy and her boyfriend were charged with covering up for his disappearance. Now, we need to make sure and notate that. Y'all wonder why I repeat these things, because it's very important that we don't miss that. They are charged with covering up his disappearance. And if you ask me, that's just as good as they did something to this boy. I'm sure we're going to find him. And to be honest, these stories never end very well. Are we hoping and praying that we find this boy? Yes. Because the police are looking, the search teams are looking, everybody in New Hampshire that are good people are out there looking right now, right? But honestly, these aren't good stories to report on because we're usually going to give you bad news. Danielle Denise Dauphinus, who's 35 years old, she's 35. And her boyfriend, mom's boyfriend, is 30-year-old Joseph Staff, 30 years old, and they were charged on Sunday with child endangerment and witness tampering over the disappearance of that little boy. Let me see if I can get his picture up here. Look at this baby boy. This one's probably one of my favorite pictures, probably because it's very clear. And he's just a little boy. You see his sippy cup. And to me, that lets me know that he's definitely a youthful child. I don't understand. If they didn't love this boy to the point that they did something to him, why keep him? I'm sure the biological father would have gladly taken this baby boy. But you know why people like this end up keeping these kids? Because they're looking to collect benefits off of these kids. And what do we call that? Hashtag babies for benefits. Because it seems like they're only using these children, okay? Because you don't love them, you don't give a shit about them, and you don't want to see them grow up and become something great, in my humble opinion, all right? Now, they were charged on Sunday with child endangerment and witness tampering over the disappearance of Elijah Lewis, who is 5 years old. Now, I hope I pronounced his name correctly. Elijah, who hasn't been seen by family or friends in 6 months. Pause right the hell there. What's wrong with the parents and family and friends not seeing him for 6 months? Anybody want to take a guess on that? Because I'm going to tell you something. As quickly as the parents, family, and friends might want to put up a GoFundMe and act like they care about the search efforts and people like the state police underwater recovery team are out here looking for this boy. But where the hell were you the first week he was missing? I could understand maybe a few days, but what about the first week? What about the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 6 months? Missing for 6 months. Now all of a sudden, we want to crap our diapers. 6 months is a whole half of a year. And we're now getting to the point where we have arrest charges against the biological mother and mom's boyfriend after 6 months. I would have been all over this after 48 hours. Just like the TV show. But let's keep going. Officials say neither Dolphinus nor staff reported Elijah as missing. That's a huge burning red flag. We talk about red flags and yellow flags. That would have been a huge red flag. Missing for a few days, a few hours, a few weeks. Red flags. The family should have been all in the news, all up in the videos. They should have been all at the police station. They should have been trying to do all types of interviews. They should have been going live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Go live on Vine. I don't even know if Vine still exists. Does it exist? I don't know. Somebody's going to have to tell me. Hell, go live on PS5. Go do something. But they should have been raising their voices the moment that they realized that something was wrong. 6 months is too damn long. Let's keep going. The couple were arrested in the area of Westchester Avenue and Brucker Avenue at approximately 7:13 a.m. on Sunday, according to the New York Police Department. That's where we're getting our information from. The NYPD would not disclose to the news how they became aware that the New Hampshire fugitives were in New York City. An arrest warrant was issued after New Hampshire Division of Youth and Family reported the boy missing on Thursday. Let's keep going. Knowing that Child Protective Services were searching for the boy, the couple, let me make sure I didn't miss something. I think I might have missed something. Hold on. Did I miss something? Okay, nope. We're good. Knowing that Child Protective Services were searching for the boy, the couple allegedly instructed others, I don't know what others is, but they instructed others to lie about the boy's whereabouts. And that's according to the New Hampshire Attorney General's office, our source. In their arrest warrant, the office alleges that they violated a duty of care, protection, or support for the 5-year-old. In Merrimack on Sunday, the New Hampshire Fish and Game Dive Team took several boats of divers to look for the missing boy in Nattycook Lake, which is adjacent to the home where the boy lived on 7 Sunset Drive. The day before, the outlet said a police dog was brought to the lake in an attempt to sniff out the boy. New Hampshire State Police also executed a search warrant at the mother's home. At this point, we're hoping it's not a recovery mission, but I'm telling you guys that's probably what it is. And that's according to New Hampshire Senior Assistant Attorney General Ben Agati said on Monday. That is a long title. We're hoping somehow that we're going to go under a rock somewhere and find out that someone has taken him. Maybe there is some sort of mistaken identity that's going on out there, or he's been misidentified. But right now, we're fearful that may be the direction that we are headed. But again, I want you guys to remember that they were lying about the boy's disappearance. And right now, the goal is to find Elijah and ensure that he's safe. At this point, we're hoping to find him alive somewhere. Authorities have said they do not believe this is a situation where the child ran away from home. Our search is physically in the area for evidence of where Elijah is, but we're also searching throughout New England to try to find where he is. And the news could not reach Agati or the New Hampshire District Attorney's Office for comment before press time. Here's the thing. They lied. They know where he is. They know what happened. They're not talking, and I think they need to solely force their efforts and focus their efforts on these two people, because I think that if maybe you had a little something, let me get them back up on the screen. I hate that look on her face. I just want to pop her right in the face. But I wish in situations like this, it could be legal to use a little sodium pentothal. put a little bit of that in their systems and watch them sing like birds. Why? Because a baby's life depends on it. They're flat out lying. They know where this kid is. And I know you can't torture them. It's not legal in our legal justice system to torture people to find out where missing kids are. But damn it, I think this is, I don't even know that I even want to advocate for something like that, because I know that could go wrong really, really bad. But I'm just saying, they know where this kid is, and I really wish there was some way we could extract that information. Let me give you guys the fair usage, and I'll give you a little bit more about my opinion. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And if you guys would, please do me a favor and click that thumbs up. I know people wonder why I ask for people to click the thumbs up, because what it does is it helps share their stream and lets more people know that we're live. And right now we have a decent amount of thumbs up, but we want to try to match the number of people that are watching. So if you just came in, please make sure you click that thumbs up. Share this baby boy's story. Maybe we can find him, okay? Let's get it.
Now at 5 o'clock, there have been 2 arrests in connection with the missing 5-year-old New Hampshire boy. The boy's mother and a man she was traveling with are now facing charges. The couple was tracked down by police in New York City.
In Merrimack, New Hampshire, police continue to look for 5-year-old Elijah Lewis, who hasn't been seen for 6 months. WBZ's Christina Hager's live in Merrimack tonight. And Christina, crews were out there again searching all weekend.
Right, Lisa, and police have been here since late last week. In fact, when they first came to this home looking for the child and discovered he was nowhere to be found, had not even been reported missing, even though he hadn't been seen in 6 months.
The investigation for Elijah still continues.
Police have been sweeping the area for days since New Hampshire social workers discovered 5-year-old Elijah Lewis was missing from the Waterside home where his mother was living with her boyfriend. Now they're in police custody down in the Bronx.
Both of them were located in New York City yesterday. They were located by New York City Transit Police.
It was the break police were hoping for after they put out a plea for help finding the couple this weekend.
We never saw this little boy, and there's several of us that just are aghast that there was a 5-year-old even living there.
Neighbor Steve Janes has watched as police have shifted focus from the home they've been searching to the water behind it, and now search dogs heading across the street behind Jane's home.
So now it's progressed into the woods around here. There's an abandoned house on the other side. Then there's a camp out in back of that with some cabins and stuff.
Danielle Dauphinais and Joseph Stapp face charges of child endangerment and witness tampering.
Each of them has asked other people to lie about Elijah and his whereabouts, knowing that Child Protective Service workers were trying to find Elijah. At this point, we're hoping that it's not a recovery mission. We're hoping somehow that we are going to go under a rock somewhere and find out that somebody maybe has taken him in. Maybe there is some sort of mistaken identity that's going on out there, or he's been.
And I also want you guys to remember, what do y'all think might have happened to that boy's body if it was in the lake for 6 months? Think about that for a moment. That'd be one thing if he was in there for hours, maybe days, maybe even weeks. What would happen to this little boy's body? He was only 5 years old, so he's a small-bodied child. There's no telling what the hell is in that lake. What would happen to a little boy's body if it were in a lake for 6 months? Think about that.
Misidentified, but right now we are fearful that that may be the direction we're headed in.
The couple could be back here in New Hampshire to face a judge this week. Now, coming up at 6 o'clock, we will hear from a neighbor who knows this family and why he thinks Elijah's mother's boyfriend might be the one to lead police to some answers.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. So whatever he saw Like, I don't understand why there's this big gap in 6 months. If you knew something at some point, why didn't you say anything? Thank you, Falkwolf. Falkwolf said, and one of my favorite helpers in the chat, it would be a skeletal remains, no soft tissue left. They would be literally scraping for bones at this point. And you say it's connected to the ocean? Woo! If that, depending on where that boy's body was dumped, if it was connected to an ocean, there is no telling. There's no telling where that baby boy's body is. This might end up being a case that just goes unsolved as far as finding the body. That's ridiculous.
In Merrimack, New Hampshire, Christina.
A woman who considers herself an aunt of the missing boy from New Hampshire and what she was told happened to him. Police now say that 5-year-old Elijah Lewis has not been seen in 6 months, but authorities, social workers, and relatives didn't know that until last week. WBZ's Anna Myler is in Merrimack, where police are looking for clues about where Elijah might be.
Investigators have been searching the lake and woods around this home here on Sunset Drive, the last known address for Elijah Lewis, who has not been seen for 6 months. Meanwhile, his mother and her boyfriend are being transported back to New Hampshire today to face felony charges.
I never imagined this would be something that I would be sitting here talking about right now.
Clutching a missing child flyer with Elijah's picture, MJ gets emotional, wondering what happened to the 5-year-old boy.
A happy, energetic, silly boy.
MJ grew up with Elijah's mother, Danielle Dauphiné, and is the biological aunt to her oldest son.
She is like a sister to me since I was very young.
But MJ says she hasn't heard from Danielle since January, when she told her Elijah would be going to live with a family member in California.
Danielle had stated that she couldn't provide any care for him due to behavioral problems that he was having.
Last week, New Hampshire social workers went to this home on Sunset Drive in Merrimack, where Danielle has been living, and realized the little boy was missing.
From what I know, this all started due to complications with the new baby that Danielle had within the last 2 weeks.
There's a murder motive right there. Why didn't these people say this before? Let me back this up. Let me let y'all hear this again. There was a problem with the new baby. Let's listen to this. You said if it's connected to the ocean currents, could have carried the body miles from the initial site. Skeletal remains will be scattered over a huge ocean. And to be honest, I think they might know that. But listen at this. How about this for a motive? Listen to what this woman said. This is over their new baby. Listen at this.
To this home on Sunset Drive in Merrimack, where Danielle has been living, and realized the little boy was missing.
From what I know, this all started due to complications with the new baby that Danielle had within the last 2 weeks.
And realized the little boy was missing.
From what I know, this all started due to complications with the new baby that Danielle had within the last 2 weeks.
And she's just now saying something.
We're told that there was a DCYF case that had opened due to the baby being dropped off at the hospital. At this time, they had shown up to the house and asked to check on her youngest daughter and Elijah was not at the home.
Danielle and her boyfriend Joseph Staff were arrested in the Bronx Sunday and are now facing charges of child endangerment and witness tampering.
If y'all look at her face, doesn't it look like she's smiling? She doesn't look distraught, and I want y'all to think about this. This woman got with a man before she was with this man 5.5, almost 6 years ago. Laid down with that man, gave up her body and her womb, received this man's seed, went through the gestation period of getting pregnant, carried this baby boy for 9 months. She didn't think of a day after pill. She didn't think of condoms. She didn't think of adoption. She didn't think of safe house. She didn't think of giving up custody to the biological father. carried this baby for 9 months. Went through labor, hours of labor, gave birth. Probably breastfed the kid, I'm going to assume. Fed the baby, got the bond with the baby. Changing the baby's diapers, buying wipes and buying formula. I don't understand how you could go through all of that with a child and just wake up one day and you're just like, you know what, this child is no longer significant to me. I don't get that. Maybe there's somebody who's crazy enough who can explain to me, or maybe there's somebody who's out there that wants to give this woman an excuse like, 5 years after postpartum depression. That's why you murdered your kid? Because to me, that's murder. Her friend just gave a motive as for murder, and I'm expecting there to be murder charges. Got a couple more videos. Let's listen at the rest of this. This is insane. If you guys are listening, thank y'all for being here. If there's your first live, thank you for being here. Make sure you guys click that thumbs up. That'll help us out quite a bit. Let's get it.
Of a missing New Hampshire boy and her boyfriend pleaded not guilty to charges of child endangerment and witness tampering today, but authorities still don't know where little Elijah Lewis is. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ana Ritis Rodriguez.
I'm Paula Eben, and the boy's uncles were at the courthouse today for the arraignment, and as WBZ's Beth Germano reports, they want his mother to help investigators find her little boy.
We're here to try to get a message to Danielle that please cooperate. Please let us know where he is.
Two brothers of Danielle Dauphiné, the mother who was virtually in court today, pleading not guilty to charges connected with the disappearance of her 5-year-old son, Elijah Lewis.
I want him to be found or brought home.
It was originally reported the little boy from Merrimack, New Hampshire, had not been seen for 6 months. But investigators have narrowed that time frame to 30 days and have spent the last several days conducting an extensive search near a lakeside home where he was living and beyond.
And as we've collected more evidence and talked to more people, interviewed more witnesses, we believe we could narrow that time frame.
Over the weekend, police got a break in the case when Dauphiné and her boyfriend Joseph Staff were arrested in New York and charged with witness tampering and child endangerment. Both are now being held without bail in an agreement known as preventative detention.
Based on your agreement that clear and convincing evidence that your release will endanger the safety of yourself or of the public exists in this case.
But Elijah's whereabouts remain a mystery, and the court appearance offered no new details. Danielle Dauphiné's brothers admit they've never met the boy, and the family has been estranged.
He's 5 years old. He doesn't deserve this. He deserves to have a shot.
Maybe grow up a little bit and spoke to her a little bit more often. I just never expected anything like this to ever happen.
Investigators won't say if the mother is cooperating and who may have last seen Elijah.
We all want to have hope.
Hope that it is not a recovery mission. In Merrimack, New Hampshire, Beth Germano, WBZ News.
Breaking now at noon, 2 arrests have been made in connection with a missing 5-year-old boy who hasn't been seen in months. I'm Paula Eben. The New Hampshire Attorney General's office says the mother of Elijah Lewis and another man were arrested in New York City. They have both been charged with witness tampering and child endangerment for allegedly asking people to lie about Elijah and where he was living, knowing that Child Protection Service workers were searching for him.
I want to know who it is that they asked to lie for them. Because in all actuality, if we are able to find out that those people were told some false information and then they didn't give that information over to Child Protective Services or the police or the investigators, don't y'all think that they should also face charges too of obstruction of justice or something? I think if you put those people's lives at risk for receiving that kind of information and not immediately reporting it, which could have saved this baby's life, I think that their lives and their freedom should be in jeopardy. What do y'all think? Since the baby was missing for 6 months, give him 6 months in jail. Give him 6 months in jail. That would really light a huge fire under a lot of people who just sit by and twiddle their thumbs and act nonchalantly about missing kids. Why don't we take that serious? Why don't we take when we get the Amber Alerts? Why don't we take that stuff seriously? Look at it, read it. If you're out and about, glance and maybe see if you might find the vehicle. You never know. But let's keep going.
On Friday, state authorities issued a bulletin looking for the couple and revealing that Elijah had not been seen in 6 months. Today, police search crews were back in Merrimack searching a pond near the family's house.
At this point, we're hoping that it's not a recovery mission. We're hoping somehow that we are going to go under a rock somewhere and find out that somebody maybe has taken him in. Maybe there is some sort of mistaken identity that's going on out there, or he's been misidentified. But right now, we are fearful that that may be the direction we're headed in.
The two suspects will be arraigned in New York City in just about a half an hour.
Yeah, Monica, the New Hampshire Attorney General's office tells us they've received a number of helpful tips from the public, but so far no concrete evidence as to where 5-year-old Elijah Lewis may be. Now, state police dive crews were in the water in Natticook Lake this afternoon searching. For the last 3 days, they've been focused on gathering evidence from a house on Sunset Drive, the last known residence of Elijah Lewis, and they've been searching the lake behind that property for any signs of Elijah. So far, nothing has turned up. On Thursday, authorities were first alerted that Elijah hadn't been seen in nearly 6 months. State police are also looking for Elijah's mother, 35-year-old Danielle Dauphiné, and another man, 30-year-old Joseph Staff, who were...
Well, they've already found them. Let's move to the next video.
There is a somber mystery unfolding in New Hampshire where investigators are seeking information on the whereabouts of a 5-year-old boy who may have been missing for 6 months now. The focal point for those investigators, at least for now, is a small lake house in Merrimack where the youngster was last seen. Child welfare workers contacted police on Thursday after they'd been unable to locate the boy, his mother, or his mother's boyfriend. And neighbors are fearing the worst. Here's WBZ's Paul Burton.
Right now, the goal is find Elijah.
Okay, so Falkwolf said the only charges they can face is obstruction of governmental process. I wonder, like, how, if you know, how much time would that actually give them in jail? Would that give them some time in jail? Any time in jail, even if it were like a month in jail, that would actually hurt a lot of people, but just something, man. I mean, we got to do something, but right now we don't really have anything in place to really hold people accountable to give up the information that they have. And it could have saved this boy. 6 months is just ridiculous.
And ensure that he's safe.
New Hampshire State Police Marine Patrol searched Natticook Lake in Merrimack on Saturday. Investigators say the Sunset Drive home is the last known location of 5-year-old Elijah Lewis, who was reported missing on Thursday.
At this point, we are hoping to find Elijah alive and somewhere. But right now, the biggest people that we need to talk to is his mother and the gentleman that she's with.
The New Hampshire Division of Children, Youth, and Families was notified Thursday that Elijah was last seen by independent individuals approximately 6 months ago. The Merrimack boy was never reported missing prior to Thursday. Police are looking to speak with Elijah's mother, 35-year-old Danielle Denise Dauphiné, who may be with 30-year-old Joseph.
From the air, on the ground, and in the water, New Hampshire State Police continued searching for 5-year-old Elijah Lewis on Monday.
I hope, we all hope that we're going to find him safe and sound somewhere.
The Attorney General's office tells us Elijah's mother, 35-year-old Danielle Dauphiné, and her boyfriend, 30-year-old Joseph Staff, were arrested in the Bronx on Sunday.
Each of them has asked other people to lie about Elijah and his whereabouts, knowing that Child Protective Service workers were trying to find Elijah and locate him.
Elijah was last seen in this Merrimack neighborhood some 6 months ago. State Police's investigation now centers around Staff's mother's home on Sunset Drive, where the couple was living with at least 2 other children. The AG's office tells us those kids are safe and now in DCYF custody.
We only saw the toddler, and I knew she'd had a baby recently, but we never saw the 5-year-old, but nobody really in the neighborhood ever saw him.
Neighbors and investigators are now hoping Sunday's arrests will lead to more information about where Elijah may be.
Everybody is expressing shock, unbelievable disbelief, outrage.
Yeah.
A lot of anger.
We still have not found Elijah, and we are desperately searching and still asking for the public's help in doing so.
And we're told that Elijah's father lives in Arizona and is cooperating in this investigation. He's not considered a person of interest. As for the mother, Danielle Dauphineus, and her boyfriend, Joseph Staff, they just waived extradition in New York, which means they'll be coming back here to New Hampshire. They'll be arraigned before a judge in Hillsborough County in the upcoming days. Live in Merrimack tonight, Scott Cook, WMU.
All right, let me give you guys my closing thoughts. And also, you just confirmed kind of what I was thinking. If the people that had information were to get in trouble for it, potentially they could get a $500 fine and maybe 30 days in county. But to me, that'd be something. But I think that people really, instead of us putting more laws like that on the books, I just think that what we need to do is just enforce the laws that are on the books right now. But when it comes to those type of people, I just really wish that we would care a lot more about what the hell is going on. They were too nonchalant about this, too just matter of fact about this. But I'm going to tell y'all something about this mom, and I've seen her. If y'all look at this woman's face, she does not look concerned at all about life in prison. She doesn't look like even from that mugshot right there, that's scary just to even think about that. That's a mugshot right there. The dude actually looks kind of worried, but the mom looks kind of like, whatever. She looked like she don't give a crap at all. And I don't understand that. How you can go through all of that, bring this child into this world that didn't ask to be here, misuse and abuse your son's life, and then you ask people to lie on your behalf about his whereabouts. That's flat out disgusting. And I'm not so sure that they're going to be able to get a murder charge, because I think in order to get a murder charge, I think they would either need a confession or they would need this boy's body and to be able to determine what happened to him. Okay. But that's basically where we're at with this. But that's kind of my thoughts about this. But again, I think this is really sad, and I think this story is going to really come to a bad end, and I'm not so sure that they're going to even find the body at this point. I don't know how you will find the body after being missing for 6 months. And we've seen when these children's bodies are missing for weeks and maybe even a couple of months, and they have a lot of difficulty. So we're just going to put prayer hands up, and we're going to hope that whatever information that they can find, that it will lead to the conviction of this alleged biological mother and mom's boyfriend. We hope to get justice against them in the fullest extent of the law, to be smacked in their face. But to that beautiful little boy, he deserves so much better. What a bright little smile. And that's probably my favorite picture of him right there. And I know the biological father is probably hurting right now. But that one's probably my favorite picture. That little boy could have grown up to become something great. He could have even been a hero in this world. But we'll never know, because he was robbed of that opportunity to be able to grow up. So again, thank you guys so much for listening to the story with an open mind and an open heart. But to this little young prince, R.I.P. And I thank y'all for listening to his story. Make sure you share his story, and let's try to get justice for him, okay? Thank you.